Hey kids. Okay, so today I'm going to go over how to draw a sandcastle by the water. I have some shells here, a bucket kind of on its side with the sand in, a beach ball, and then the ocean behind the sandcastle. So I'm going to start by laying out this in pencil, and then I'll go over the lines that I want to keep in Sharpie, and I will erase the rest. So for starters, I'm going to put my horizon line, and that's, where the sky and the ground meet, about here. Now you don't have to follow along with the pencil. I know it's hard to see, but it's just so you can kind of figure out where your ground is. This will all be sand, and where your sky is. And my sandcastle goes above my horizon line because it's built up, but the bottom will be on the ground. It will be down in the sand. And then I'm also going to have an area here where my waves are coming up to meet the sand, but we'll put that in later. Now, my beach ball will go about here. Don't worry if it's not perfect circle, right? Beach balls rarely are. And then it's going to be kind of down in the sand a little bit. So I'm going to put some lines here. And then there's parts of the beach ball that I won't be able to see, because it's kind of down in the sand. And then I'm going to have a bucket here. Now what I'm doing is I'm making an oval, right? But I'm not going to be able to see the whole oval because the sand goes in. So the sand goes in and then the sand comes out here. So this part won't be visible. That'll all be sand. And then whatever line I made here, this is called an arc, right? The way it turns is an arc. So I'm going to make the same arc back here, but just a little bit smaller. And then I can connect that down. And this would be connected up, except a lot of that's going to be in the sand too, so you can make that line kind of hidden. And then I'm going to have the handle of the bucket. So the handle of the bucket would go from here to here, right? It would wrap like this. But I've put mine down in the sand also. Now you can do your bucket your own way. And also I didn't put any pretty design on mine, but a lot of these buckets have really fun patterns on them that you could add. And so then that kind of gets hidden down there. So when I put these Sharpie lines in, you'll be able to see this a lot better. Now, my sandcastle. So when I drew my sandcastle, I really tried to think about how a sandcastle is made. And actually, see right here, this is a mistake, right? Because imagine you have like a kind of a bucket to fill with sand, and you flip it upside down and you put the sand from the bucket down onto the beach. Now you have a shape, and the shape moves inward because the bucket bottom would be on top, and you pull it off and the sand comes out, right? So what I imagined here was adding another layer on top and then on top, but that would mean that this would sit on top. So it would actually go right here, and that would be incorrect. So I'll fix that when I draw for you. But I'll show you how I'm going to work this out. So the first thing I did was kind of think about my bucket shape. And the bucket shape would have, so a line up and in, and I'll do one like this, and then I'll start going over this in Sharpie so you can see it better. It would have this bottom, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I made 5. You can make 3, 4, it doesn't matter. Down, up, and then down again, right? Out a little bit. And then I thought I would be able to see a little bit of this detail where it has like kind of a cutout on the side. So I put that shape in. And then let's give it this rim all the way across. I don't have it all the way across in mine, but I think I like that better. And then it's buried in sand, right? So you don't see the whole bottom of it because the sand comes up. All right, so I'm going to go over this in Sharpie. I'm going to start my sandcastle in Sharpie so you can follow the whole thing. And then I'll add the shells. And for the shells, of course, you can do anything you want. So for starters, I know that sand is going to be here and block the view of some of my beach ball. And I'll put that to there, but not too far because I'm going to have some shells here. And then I'm going to draw what's left of my circle, not worrying too much about whether or not it's a perfect circle because beach balls get kicked around a lot and they deflate a little bit, and it's not a big deal if it is wobbly. Now at the end here, it has a seam. So we'll put a little oval shape out here. And then the segments that are colored come from this, right? So lines come out from this shape. So I'll make one here, and I'll make it come down here. Now I have 6. I have 6 different sections. You can have whatever you want, right? But if you want to have 6, then it'll be 3 and 3. So the line will come to the other side of this and go that way. Now you'll put 2 in here and 2 here. So you'll have 1 here and 1 here. You'll put 2 here, 1 here. Notice I'm curving it a little bit because the ball is, round. And then I'm going to put 1 from here to here. There to there. For extra fun, because it's kind of cinched here at the top, you can just put a little bit of that to look like it's kind of tight there. All right, now for the bucket, I'm going to follow this part of the line that I made from the sand up. So here, up, and then back down to where it meets the sand. And now I can go in and I know where to stop, right? So I'll go in with the sand line, a wavy to there. Next, I'm going to put in the handle. So I'm going to make a little part come out there for the handle, down to here, and it'll stop there in the sand. Come back here, I'm going to make the other part, stop there in the sand, and now I'm going to make this line here. So I'm going to go from here down a little bit to there, and then I'm going to make this curve around here to the sand, here and down. Now I can put a sand line in here because now I know where to stop. So I can go here, up here, nice wavy sand line. If you want the bucket to have that kind of top, like a rim around the top, you'll just put a second line here. And if you wanted to have any pattern or detail on it, you would add that on the bucket. Now, let's start the sandcastle. So I'm going to follow the line that I've decided. I'm going to come up and over, going kind of zigzag across the top, and then down. I'm going to make my section here. You don't see all that, so that's why it's just there to there. I'm going to make another one here. You won't really see all of this one either. It's there to there. I'm going to make this line from the beach ball a little bit past and down, and I'll make my sand line. Now I add more. All right, so I'm going to do another one here, kind of like they took the bucket and they did this, then they came over here and they took the bucket and they did it here. So I'm going to come up, stop, and I'm going to do this again. I made 5. You can make whatever you want. I'm going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then I'm going to come down the other side a little bit out, like that. Now I'm going to make my 2 kind of upside down U shapes. So I'm going to have one here. I'm going to have one here. And then I'm going to come out a little bit, down. And this line goes across. So I'm going to go across like that. And then my sand line. Now in here, I really just made a bigger version. So I'm going to come up, across, and I think for this one I had 4, but again, it does not matter. There, down a little bit, to there. I have this one where it just has 1, up, and over. And then across here, I'm going to have that line here. It's going to be here, like that. And then I can kind of connect this sand line to cover that whole thing. Now, for each of these next sections, I kind of imagined they had another type of bucket, right? This one has the seam near the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and stop, come in a little bit. I'm going to plan this out. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. All right, come up, stop, come in a little bit. You're aiming for about the same height, but it does not matter. If you've ever made a sandcastle, you know these things come out crazy all the time. And now I'm going to make this line across the top. So here, 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 down. I'm going to do it again here and here. So again, it's up, in a little bit, come over here, up, in a little bit, come back to here, up, down, up, down, up, down, and actually, I think I have room for one more. What? It'll look better when it's colored, maybe. And now we're going to do it again here. So we'll come up, over, up, over, come in a little bit here, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, for the last part, I sort of imagine that they just had like kind of a cone shape and scooped that up and put it on top. So this one, you just do the upside down U shape. And again, kids, remember, you can make anything you want for your sandcastle. These can be totally unique. And they should look a little lopsided. They're made out of sand. For the windows, I just sort of figured that, you know, they grabbed a little beach stick and stuck them in there a little bit and made little window openings, you know, with whatever they could find to kind of push a little hole in. Just sort of made a little shape there, there, like some here. All right, now we're cooking. Now, for the waves behind them, this is where the sky and the water meet, right? So I'm going to have a line here. Imagine that it goes behind this. So I see a little bit here. Imagine it goes behind that. I see a little bit there. Imagine it goes behind that, and then out the other side. Now I made another row because I pictured waves coming in. So this one I used a broken line. So I stop, start again, stop. Maybe you see a little bit there. Maybe you see a little bit here. And then here is where it's really coming up onto the sand. So this one you can use a wavy line like that. All right, now let's talk about these shells. You can make any kind of shell you want. I just did 2 of this spiral kind, and I'll show you how I did it. I'll probably start with this one. Let's do this one first. So for this, I'm going to start with a spiral. I'm going to wrap around, and then on the last one, I'm going to come out and go over and come back to touch. So spiral around, 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 and then on the last one, come out over and back in. For this one, the spiral is a little bit different. You're going to kind of come around and then stop. Start again and then stop. Start again and then stop. Start again and then stop. And then add this piece. So let's start here. Spiral around. Each time I'm starting again on the other side. Like that, right? Make it one more for it to be nice and big. And then on this one, I'm going to come down and then come back up. And then if you want to kind of tuck it in the sand, you can just do a little bit of that. Okay, now I'm going to erase my pencil lines and show you what this looks like when it is just the Sharpie line. All right, kids. So once again, you can do your own beach scene. It could have an umbrella, it could have beach chairs, seagulls, palm trees, more shells, a crab. It can have all kinds of fun things going on, right? You can color it any kind of way that you want. I hope you have a lot of fun with this, and take care.